I still to this day hear people say and repeat stuff that started 33 years ago. And it affects, like with you, with your situation,
Mm-hmm.
your family and stuff like that. It affects your family. And these guys, man, they act like they've done nothing. It's kind of crazy, man. I'm just like, it's just like, but whatever, man. Let's have some fun. I'm tired of talking to those dudes, man. It puts me in a dark mode. And there's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna, hey, they think these videos are bad. I'm gonna make never mind.
Well, it's coming.
I'm gonna put some stuff out. Yeah.
It's coming. You know, like I told you, the reason why I'm up here or down here, you know, is because I'm, you know, meeting with some people to get some things on the screen and get some things put out. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
and we got to do it correctly, and we
Oh.
got to do it right, and professionally. You know, and this is just the base, and we're feeling it out, and already some producers are already on ground to take it and run with it. You know, and it's going to be great. And you know, some of the guys that have done us wrong are ending up in a wheelchair, paralyzed. Some of us, you know, some of them are dead, and they go to the grave with it. Some of them have had stents put in their, you know, their hearts and stuff, and it's, you know, it'll come around, man, to them. Thank God, you know, I still have my health. Pablo has his health.
Not me.
You know, well,
Mine's gone.
you do. You know
No.
what I mean? And we got to get the story out there.
Yeah.
You know, but it's
Now I am a 5150. So they got their wish. Now
nah,
I'm the king of the
you're the
51.
5150 of telling the truth, man,
Yeah.
and that's what it's all about. You know, and when I got that whole investigation on me that I walked away from, and when I saw it again, yeah, it brought up some, you know, anger again toward these guys, and you know, and then reading through it page by page, and it's just amazing, man. You know that.
Can you get the you got to be able to get the crime report or the detective reports.
Well, like I said, I went back to the city of Compton, and they're telling me that all the records have been destroyed.
What about the sheriff's?
And
No, that's illegal.
yeah.
You mean they put it on digital?
Well, they should have, of course.
No, they have to.
You know, they have to. You cannot throw away.
If not, you sue them.
You know,
Tell them to put on paper that they don't have it.
Right.
Tell them that.
Well, you ask for a FOIA, you know,
No. Tell them to put on paper that they don't have it.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right there.
Tell them to send you a letter that says they don't have it and they can't get it.
I've asked them, and I'm waiting for it.
That's
and my
all.
law firm
That
is
don't
waiting
matter.
for it, man.
Tell them to put on paper.
Yes.
They don't have it and they can't get it.
Yeah.
Then
Beautiful.
go from there.
Boom. You know, but you know, we just gotta. I'm doing it, you know, like I said, you know, is to clear my name, and you know, the shadow that has been, you know, placed over me for all them years.
You Scarface.
And I knew
you
it was.
Scarface.
Yeah, it's gonna come back, and yeah, I'm gonna get you know, I'm gonna get revenge, even though the Lord says, you know, revenge is mine, saith the Lord. But you know, God used me to do some revenge, man. You know, it's just.
Don't worry. Don't let them suck up too
ugly.
much of your energy.
No. You know. But it's.
Yeah, what they did to you, and I knew about it. I heard it firsthand, more than once. It was a group. Well, my father was on it, of course. I know Lieutenant Anderson was on a couple of the conversations. There was multiple conversations after, we'll call him Officer J.
Okay. Yeah.
I told him, because I had some first-hand information, I said, hey, they're going to fire you today.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to make sure you cover your ass, blah, blah, blah. And he did it, whatever. That was part one. But because that happened, that's really that's the pretext to Arnie's scandal. Now, right after that, they were having multiple phone calls, and they were like, that
those
hold on,
calls.
Officer J,
Mm-hmm.
he knew. They knew that they said somebody tipped him off.
Yeah.
And they immediately, like maybe 10 minutes into it, it's like this, that motherfucking Arnie.
Yeah.
It's got to be Arnie. He's the only one who was around us. And it was funny to me. It was shocking because I'm like, wait a minute. am I stupid? Am I retarded? Or they're blaming Arie for something they said and did in front of Arie. But
Yeah.
they're not guilty, but Arie is.
Yeah.
And they go, we're going to get that motherfucker.
That's what they
We're going to
said.
get his ass out. And it got real intense. So I was like, And then, of course, a year later, they kicked me out of the police department. I never to return.
So Pablo never heard of that, man. I didn't even hear about it
I knew
until
about it.
we reconnected. But I still remember that night they put me with Officer J, and we had transported a prisoner over to someplace, and we're on the way back, and he was all stressed out. And I said, "Hey, man, what's up? You know?" He's, "Oh, why don't you pull over, man? Let's get out of the car, out of the unit, because I'm afraid it's being recorded." I go, "What? What's going on, man?" I had no clue. And that's when he said, "A birdie told me that they're gonna fire me today." Fire you for what? What did you do? He goes, and he gave me the whole breakdown. This is what they said that I did. I go,
Wow, now that must have
"No,
been a
man."
different day because
No.
the day they fired him, he fell down the.
Yeah, it was the same day you told him.
Yeah, but
you
I don't
know?
think I don't think he ever went out in the field.
No, we did ride together that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
Oh.
then when he came back, that's when he got injured on
Well,
duty.
I didn't know. I don't
And
know. I thought he did
and
it
he
right
went
when he
off
came to work.
on injured on duty, man.
I think,
And
yeah.
but they even at that point they thought I had told him since we rode together, but I knew nothing about what was
I don't
happening,
think so,
man.
Arie. I think,
You know?
let me see. The way I remember it was when I told him he fell when he first got to work. Because what they did,
No,
this is what Compton PD did, and I seen them do it to Sam Naylor, and that was the first guy I seen him do. Remember, Officer
Yeah,
Sam Naylor?
yeah.
I seen him do it, and there was this weird, like, administrative culture at Compton PD. They would let the guy go to briefing, have briefing, and then they would hand them the envelope, basically the pink slip, you're suspended or whatever, terminated, in front of everybody after briefing. They just had this kind of habit. So I told the person, I said, yeah, you ain't got to believe me, and I ain't going to tell you where I got the information. But I'm telling you, you need to fall down or something, right?
Yeah.
And because they're going to do you today. Now, you might have had a conversation with them, but I don't think it was that day. Now, what happened was they were pissed at Arie for something they said that they think Arie overheard and told Officer J, which is 100% retarded and 100% evil. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call a spade, okay? As Reds would say, oh, never mind. Yeah, I don't want to get into Red routine. But so all this happens, and they blamed Arie for that. And before I left the police department, I would hear these conversations where they were like, they were gonna get Arie, they were gonna get Arie. Now, I don't think anybody knew that. I knew Arie didn't know it.
I didn't know it. No, man.
I left the police department. Did I get married? Yeah, I got married, got divorced, and I moved to South America to get some therapy. And all kinds of therapy, triple therapy. I started taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with the Gracies and Muay Thai. I did that. I started, dating the pretty women down there. And I actually went to like a actual clinical therapy, right? So, because I knew I had trauma, but the trauma was not from Kevin. The trauma was from what I learned and them stealing the checks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's from the corruption of the
Yeah,
city
the
of Compton
corruption.
Police
Yeah,
Department.
that's where
man.
my trauma
That's where it was.
came. And I was already had PTSD from the damn Air Force, right? So it just triggered me. So all this happens. I move away. I don't know what year I came back. I think it was the year that I went to the memorial, it was around 2015 or something. I don't know. You know better. I can't remember. But they started talking about, I asked about Arie. I said, hey, where's Arie? And they was like, oh, Arie Scarface, you haven't heard about Arie? And I'm like, what? I said, I'm talking about Arie Villarruel. And they were like, oh no, Paul, Arie was slanging all over. He was kilos, and remember the two twins? And I'm like, I got no. But in my head, I was thinking, oh, maybe they did get Arie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, they finally got him. And they just made up some BS like they did with me.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, I got to get Arnie's phone number. And I tracked Arnie down because I didn't have his numbers. And I called him and told him what really happened, as opposed to what they're telling people, and like they did with me.
And that's basically how this whole channel started, man, was trying to lay down some good stories, but also come out with the truth on, what happened to myself, what happened to Pablo, what happened to other officers, and the corruption within the police department of the A and B teams and how they ran the police department, man. They ran it with fear. They ran it in, we're going to fuck you if you, turn against
Come on,
one of
Arnie.
us.
Come on. No,
No.
not at Compton PD. Oh,
Yeah,
please, stop
and
it.
that's what it was.
No, that's
And
not
if
true.
you
Chief, I'm not gonna let him talk about you like that. Take it back,
no, fuck you too.
Arnie. No, Chief
you
Taylor ain't
know,
like that. Nope, stop.
and
Nope.
that's the way it was, man.
No, they
And
were pure as the driven snow.
oh
All
yeah,
of them.
man, they were.
Especially Reggie Sr.
Oh
Oh,
jeez.
by the way, after you made that last video,
Yeah.
Reggie called.
That's what you told me, man.
I talked to Reggie.
So, and then I got
He was cool. He was
yeah.
cool. But basically, the bottom
No,
line is he was still. He said he didn't remember I worked at Compton PD gangs. Yeah, he was. I don't
full of
know.
shit, man.
Yeah, but it's funny. He didn't
I don't
remember
remember
nothing.
all of a sudden. You got
I
amnesia,
talked to
man.
Oh, I also heard. Oh yeah. Now this was a joke. It wasn't really a joke, but to me it was a joke. You said something about, you made some comments about an Officer Lindell.
Mm.
And a couple of people called me. The one in particular, who will go nameless,
Right.
says, Arnie better watch it because, Officer Lindell might sue him. I said, for what? And then they start describing this. That's not true. I go, okay, so you telling me Officer Lindell, the insurance fraud crook that used to brag when he was a police? I go, I'll be the first one to testify against him, and you know about that too. And I'm gonna make sure they call you as
You're
a
a witness on
He
the
has
stand,
no
man.
credibility. And in fact, I just remembered. My memory is poor, but I remember I went to Lindell. I went to the academy with Lindell. We were in the same class, class 91, sir. So when he got out of, he was kind of like insecure because I think he had dyslexia, but at the time we just thought he was retarded. And he had to go to like junior
remedial.
college. Yeah.
You had to go remedial.
To learn how to read and write and do arithmetic and stuff, So anyway, I don't make fun. I think he just had dyslexia. He wasn't a dumb dude. But one time he invited me and a couple of other guys to his apartment. He lived down in like Lomita somewhere at an apartment. And he was in there and he had a 19, I think it was a 19, it was some kind of brand new Corvette. And he just started bragging and singing the praises to himself. Hallelujah. That he knew all about insurance. And this was just a scam. And he got a new Corvette out of it. I'm like, man, you shouldn't be saying that. And you just graduated from the academy. It was right after we got academy. And everybody just laughed about it. And then he told me later at another time, he had a wife and they invited me over to the house for a barbecue or something. And I went over there and he goes, me and her used to work for Sears. I used to do the insurance fraud over there too against Sears. That's how we got out of there. And I was like, are you retarded, dude? I said, if you go looking for a suspect and you find yourself and you hang him, you're stupid. I go, why do you keep saying this stuff out loud, man? I don't want to hear the shit. Now I'm a witness. So anyway, I got that call. And
yeah, that's funny. And that call was,
that was funny.
Yeah,
that's Lindell. What?
We both know that he's a good friend, man, an old friend of ours, And I'm just, why? What is wrong with you, man?
But anyway, it's kind of funny. We need to make real stories of Compton PD videos because if this stuff wasn't, I mean, the only way you can cope with it is to have fun with it. Like I turned like Chief. I don't want to disrespect the Chief too much, so I call him stuff like, the only way I can cope with it without being too derogatory, is calling him like Chief Rhino Butt, because he had a big old butt. And he was a track star. He was basically, look, I don't want to make it sound like the Chief was seething evil and corruption the whole time. I really don't think he is, but the problem is he listened to Big Reggie too much. And Big Reggie was a damn crook. But Big Reggie is smart. And I'm not talking about the one that looks like a whale, okay? That's the younger Reggie. Reggie Jr. Junie. Reggie Sr., I actually respect his intellect. He's a smart guy. If he was in the Air Force, 100% he would be working intelligence.
Intelligence, huh?
Yeah, on his own, like some 007 shit. I'm telling you. He has that skill set, but I think where Reggie would go wrong, Reggie has so much. He's one of those parents or people, and maybe he was raised that way. Here's the problem with Reggie that I saw. Reggie really, 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 this is the most positive way I could say it. He really, 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 really loved all his family, especially like Reggie Jr.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
His only son, supposedly.
So no matter what, Reggie Jr. was greedy. Reggie Jr. was not all bad either. Reggie Jr. was a hard worker, but he would do corrupt shit like this one's for you, and this one's for you, and this one's for you.
Lifesavers, man.
Yeah, okay. And he was just trying to make money. And then Reggie, I remember Reggie Jr., he had, before he went to death row and all that stuff that everybody knows about on the internet, he had like a little beauty salon. I think it was on Alondra, where his wife or girlfriend or whatever would run the place, and he was renting out booths. He was making money, man. So that's why he was like putting these dope on people, because he was really, in his mind, he was just making overtime. He would say that too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I got to get rid of it.
Ching, man. We just said in the locker
Yeah, so I had to go fully undercover, like Strategic Air Command, Federal Unit. I did all kind of shit because I didn't trust nobody. I said, damn, is everybody corrupt or is it just a few people? And it turned out it was just a few people.
Yeah.
But they were really bad. Right? So, where was I? Where was I talking about? I lost my...
But the hairstyling salons, they
okay, yeah.
money.
So Reggie Jr. was a hard worker. And I'm talking about the one that built like a whale. Reggie Jr., he knows how to get money, man, okay? But you can't do it by sacrificing innocent people. That's out of bounds. No foul ball, out of bounds, no good. So I think that's really what it was. But then Reggie opened up like a security company. A security company in Paramount. It was called like Right Way or something, Right Way Security.
Right.
And then after that, he got into death row because he went to high school with like Suge Knight. So they was like homeboys. They played on football together.
Well, they lived in the same
they went to the same high school. They played on the line together or something.
Yeah,
Anyway, they was close. So Reggie ends up going to death row. And then when Suge, I guess, got put in prison, Reggie was kind of running that stuff. When that was happening, years later, I think Suge got shot in a bar. I didn't know that because I was in Brazil. And I don't watch the news like other people because it's like pouring poison into your living room every night. And that's why everybody's acting crazy and evil. It's like going to the church of, they say it's
Church
the noose.
Of the cult,
no, it's the church of the noose because it's satanic shit. It's
the cult
stupid.
Noose.
Yeah, it's just dumb. But people say that, they know that, and they watch it every day like it's gospel. And then they repeat it. So that kind of stuff bothers me. So I don't really watch the news. I scan headlines and leave it at that. So little Reggie somehow at some year became like the president of death row, like an interim president while Suge was in prison at some time. At that time, one of my homeboys who was FBI, a dude I went to high school with, and he knew I worked at Compton and he knew I knew Reggie and him, he called me. I knew something was up. He started asking about him. He goes, hey, you think Reggie Jr. is capable of doing something, setting up Suge? to take over death row? I said yes. They go, now we've had people go and talk to him, and he said he would never do that. That's Suge's homeboy. I said, oh, he would do it. If he knew he could get away with it, he would do it.
Yeah.
For sure. And he was like, really? And he goes, you sure? I'd put money on that shit. Now, that was based on the fact that I would see that Reggie Jr. would do whatever against an innocent person or whatever. It's the same kind of mindset that will screw your own friend. You'll betray anything. I mean, who can, I can't rely on a guy like that.
No.
So anyway, that's what I could say positive about Lil Reggie. Lil Reggie's got a good, he's a hard worker. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He got a little slimy, you know. And his dad, now Big Reggie is more of an intelligence gatherer. He's really good at that. If I'm telling you, if Reggie was in the Air Force, if he came in as a cook, once they saw his personality and the way he can get information out of people, he would have been put in to, he would have been in Central America, learning Spanish.
Yeah.
And so I'll give that to Big Reggie. Big Reggie is funny too. He's actually funny.
Well, Pablo, when you were working the gang unit back then, and I remember, you know, those, hey, you get a rock of cocaine, you get a rock of cocaine, you get a rock of cocaine. And I remember there were a couple of filing detectives down there that I worked with, and they were having issues about the report writing and the rock cocaine for like 4 or 5 different arrests every night from the same officer from the same area.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So they asked me, they went to go file these cases, they'd come back, and then these filing detectives would ask me, because I was working narcos, and he says, hey, Arie, tell us about Junior, man. And I told him what I knew, you know, and they said, well, the filing DA has some issues, man, and he wants you to go talk to him. I said, yeah, sure, man, I'll go talk to him. So I went over next door to Compton Courthouse, spoke with the filing DA, and he was telling me, you know, we're having some issues with these arrests, man. They all sound the same. It doesn't, and the spelling isn't right. He couldn't spell correctly. And we're having some issues with these, man. So I don't think we're going to be filing more cases on, you know, what the arrestable offenses that are happening.
Wait, hold on. I'll put something together. Hold on, just pause. Remember you was telling me about you guys saw some Tupac thing with, not Nutty Block, but Southside dudes and Mob.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Reggie, out of all the places he did that, well, now who's Reggie hanging out with? It was Suge, the Mob.
Right.
He was over there on like Bradfield and Southside. He was putting the dope on them. So I started thinking, oh, this is not just money. I'm not stupid, man. I'm not stupid. I started looking, and then I would come to work, and you know, before they got hardcore with the clerical shit, you know, I was sweet talk to them. I said, hey, can you pull all the report? I mean, I had all his reports, and I looked. It's about 70% of his arrests were right there in Southside.
Mm-hmm.
They can look that shit up. I'm not crazy, right? And he would do it in a few other spots, but that was the main spot. So I started thinking, nah, Suge and them Mob motherfuckers telling Reggie, okay, if you're gonna do that shit, man, do it over here in Southside. Take the OGs out, man. We'll go over there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's some shit like that. It sounds ridiculous, but that's
he's getting rid of his competition.
Exactly.
Yes. Correct.
Right?
Yeah, man.
So I don't want to turn it into, because look, I am from Compton. I'm from Compton PD. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I'm not. The only reason I'm finally going to bring this stuff out from my perspective and from my own memory and recall is because I thought by now, after 33 years, especially Reggie Jr. and Reggie Sr. after they had some legal troubles, okay? I thought they would come out and come clean, but they haven't.
No.
That's
There's
why.
still
Okay,
a
I
lot
got
more that, you know,
yeah.
you don't know that, you know, it's been shared with me.
So I'll start putting these two and two together. Plus, I had extra help. It's not that I was some genius. Okay. Now, the Reggie Wrights, I don't have a lot of them on tape. They weren't stupid. They would talk to each other face to face or away from the thing.
Yeah.
Only time I would get Reggie Sr. is when he was on duty or he came by my grandmother's house. And they're so dumb. I always knew where they were going to go in the back. But the garage,
Yeah.
I'd park the police car, just go in the garage, and I'd be listening to them. And that motherfucker, you know, Red's like, see, I bet you it's a goddamn blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you guys are so far off.
But what would your dad say, man? He had that one saying, that one term. They would be talking shit, and then your father would say, "Oh, no, wait a minute now.
How do you know it's him?
How do you know it's him?
Can you prove it? Yeah.
Can you prove it?"
That's what you say, but we don't know that.
And then Red's eyes would be going like this.
Yeah.
He'd take off his glasses.
Because that's what the judge is going to tell you, dumbass.
That's what he's going to ask you. Am I right? Am I right?
You know, my dad was, my dad, he was like a genius. He was real smart. He was funny. He was profane. He also, man, the dude was like a spiritual psychic or something, man. I'm telling you, Red would say stuff 5 years before it happened. He goes, "You watch what I say." You know where he it would see what I told you?
Yeah.
See? You're not surprised, are you? And he would check you. This is him trying to see if you're stupid. He's like, "Paul, are you surprised?" Nope. Okay, then you tell me, well, what happened? I was like, yeah, he did this, that. He goes, "Yep, that's right." And you see it? You see how long he sat up here and just told lies to us? Well, yeah. And then fast forward 8 years later, his best friends at the police department were doing that to his sons. They're just telling lies and just keep telling them till somebody believes.
It's all about control. They wanted control of the narrative. Every narrative that was put out, you know, and it's disgusting, man. Now that I look back as we got older and we see that, and you go, oh my gosh, I wish I knew then what I know now, you know?
Yeah.
And it was a terrible move, man.
Yeah, and it's a trip, man, because, I mean, even to this day, like me personally, from everything I heard about Arie, I just think Arie, I don't think he had a strong backbone. And I think he was influenced way too much by Reggie Sr. And so I'm just saying that because I'm putting all the cards on the table. I've said all the bad stuff about him, but the good stuff is I don't think Arie is actually a bad guy. I don't. I think I'm not lifting him from his responsibility, but I'm saying he was influenced and he didn't ask him to check. He just started doing shit. Instead of asking for proof like Red, how can you prove it? Yeah. He just did it. And he was asked, "Red, what do you think?" He goes, "Yeah, well, and that's what Red would say. Well, it might get you in trouble."
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right, yeah.
Or he'd tell him, "Oh, that's all right, do that." Right? So that's what my dad called him, Hugh. Right? So, no, I don't think Chief Taylor is a bad guy. Now, the baddest dude, though, the dude...
He listened to the wrong people, man.
The guy, the most memorable guy for me at Compton PD is not Reggie. They're the most famous or infamous. It's not Chief Taylor. There's two people. You got Mikey Paez. Mikey Paez, I used to write, those stories are true. He had baseballs in the car that said, "Stop police." I thought it was a joke until I rode with him. And he missed the dude. He threw the baseball at him. And I picked it. I had that baseball at home. That's another thing. I had a baseball from Mikey Paez that said, "Stop police." I kept one of them. And he's the most memorable guy for me. And the other guy is Arie Allen. Arie Allen would crack me up. They would talk so much shit about him, but not in front of his face. And all Arie would do
Jesus.
would walk in and he goes, he would walk in the briefing. He had a perfect Jerry curl.
Yeah.
He's like 6'4". He's like a pretty boy, right?
Did you take philosophy?
No. He would walk in and he would tell people to spell stuff, and then he was like, let me put this in terms that you might understand or may not understand. And that would crack me up because they wouldn't say anything to him. But as soon as he walked out of the room, they go, that's arrogant. I go, he's trying to get you guys to learn English. Why are you, oh, you on the B team? I'm like, no, I'm on the English team. No, that makes you an asshole.
Yeah, but he would go in there, man, very sarcastic and very, oh, I'm better than thou, and
he was.
Let me ask you a question. Strike that. Let's,
I like Arie. Arie.
Oh boy.
No, the only one I like more than Arie is my most I just like if I'm feeling down, I could think of Arie in my head and start smiling. Now, the person that really ran the police department and doesn't get any credit, but actually kept it running, and she wasn't corrupt. It's a she. She was the best person. She was the best employee we had. You know who it is?
Who do you think it was?
Wanda Allen.
Yeah, Wanda was a sweet lady. Still is a sweet lady, man. She was,
If Wanda Allen would have left the police department, it would have been administratively in shambles.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. So if Wanda's out there, hello, we love you. I see her make posts sometimes.
She tried to always make the right decisions and put her input on things that where the hammer was coming down. And, it was but again there, man, she was Arie Allen's wife, man.
Yeah.
And it was tough to,
is Arie still alive?
I guess he is, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I love Arie.
Yeah.
And then, but see, and then there's Stone Jackson, but Stone Jackson is like my family. I consider him. I remember being a little boy, like 3 years old, and Stone, they think I don't remember it. I'm 3, 4, and Stone, and my father's like, Stone's a boxer in the Marines.
My father used to spar with him, man.
And he would just like let me hit his, I would hit his hands like he had mitts.
Yeah.
And then he would, they think I forgot that.
No, he had hands of steel, man.
Stone Jackson.
Hands of stone. Yeah,
just like this. He hit you. He do just like this. Whack.
Yeah.
You gone, man.
Yeah, man. Them ribs, he gonna tear your ribs up, man.
And he was always dressed like he was an untouchable. He had on a derby.
He had a top hat, derby,
he had
man.
A 3-piece suit.
Nice suit.
He was thin.
Some Stacy's.
He looked like you remember when the blacks had the Harlem Renaissance, like in the 1920s and 30s, and they all dressed. Yeah. That's how Stone is, just clean all the way down.
Well, the other guy I liked too, man, was Scum. Scum.
Oh yeah,
was intelligent. He was smart, and he was level-headed. And he talked to you and smiled at you. He reminds me of Denzel Washington. He had that Denzel Washington.
Marvin Bransky.
Yeah,
He played baseball for the Reds.
He did, and that was where the red came from, the C came from.
Hey, man.
You played for,
No.
Hey, I'm telling you, man.
Red came. We the king of the gangs of the.
Yeah, we came up with the jersey.
I work gangs, okay?
Eddie helped us with the jerseys. And,
I wish I had. I wish I had.
Yeah, you wish you had yours, man. That's why I'm wearing. I'm sporting it now. We just can't let somebody.
You gotta take a picture in that, man.
Hey, man. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. And again, I thank my friend here, Pablo, for coming and visiting me as I travel down south. And we just want to give you the right, true stories, the truth, and nothing but the truth. And I love this man. He's really helped me along the way and gave me some good confidence.
And all you liars out there better start telling the truth.
Yeah,
or the Almighty Guardian or the Almighty Lord's going to come.
That's right. Believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. Use your turn signals and push your chair in when you leave the restaurant. All right? We love you. God bless.
Hold on, one more thing. I'm getting ready to file a lawsuit against you liars. That means I'm going to pray to the Lord that you guys get body checked. You understand what I'm saying?
It's a right hook, man.
Yep.
There it is.
Later.